Who wants to talk first?
Hello.
Welcome
To the first and ever
Hillywood podcast, aka Beyond Hillywood, where we talk, as you heard Roy Arse say. I'm going to start over. This is horrible. Let's just do it again. I'm sorry.
Are you dead serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious.
In a world where two siblings create epic productions of monumental proportions.
Wait, what is this, Hollywood? No, this is Hillywood.
Oh, sorry. Please welcome the creators of the Hillywood Show and your hosts, Hilly and Hannah Hindi, as they discuss Hillywood and beyond. This is Beyond Hillywood.
Hello.
Hello.
So, guys, welcome to our first ever
Hillywood podcast. AKA Beyond Hillywood.
Yay! And basically today, episode 1, is going to, give you guys the information about how did Hillywood begin, basically, and the birth of Hillywood.
That's been our number one question whenever we go to any conventions or sit-down interviews. That's the first question. And if I have to hear it one more time, no, I'm just joking. But honestly, we are here to tell the story of the birth of Hillywood.
Yeah.
But did you guys hear that lovely intro that we just had? We sound so official.
I know, the ominous voice.
Obviously, that's not our voice. We have squeaky voices. That was the voice of Roy Arse. Claps for Roy Arse. He does amazing voiceovers. You guys should check him out. I actually found him on TikTok.
He's absolutely amazing. So we want to give a little shout out. Thanks, Roy. Really appreciate it. You're awesome.
And for our YouTube viewers and not our listeners, we actually have a really cool neon sign in our studio.
Ooh.
So if you are listening to this, you might want to turn into our YouTube channel and check out our beautiful neon Beyond Hillywood sign.
Yes, and it was created by Bear Vintage. They have an amazing company that's in Utah, and you can actually find them on Etsy, Bear Vintage. So thank you, guys.
Yeah. All right, so it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty.
All right.
And go way, way, way back then.
Very far back. And we're talking how many years now?
13 years.
13 years ago.
13 years ago. In a faraway land.
All right.
Hilly was just a fetus and had dreams and dreams and dreams. Okay, so for those of you who don't know our Hillywood history, I know a lot of our fans tuned into Hillywood later on when we were doing more of the parodies, like Supernatural parody or the Twilight parodies gained us a lot of viewers too. This is going before that. So there's only a handful of those fans that actually know our story, like from the beginning.
Very few and far between. And we're going to take a step back even before the episodes right now of the Hillywood Show. If you remember, there were episodes before the parodies began.
We don't like to talk about those.
Those are hidden in our secret vault locked away.
Very cringy. Extremely cringy and so cheesy. Okay, let's go back before, Hillywood began a little backstory. I mean, we'll have more episodes where that's why we called this podcast Beyond Hillywood, because yes, we're talking about Hillywood, but we will have episodes where we talk more about sisterhood, our childhood, our likes, our dislikes.
Why we are the way we are.
Weird. So here's just a little hint of that. If you are our friend back in the day, and we're talking 9 years old, 13 years old, you would come to our house. We'd be like, we're not going to play. We're going to make a movie.
Because we're going to be stars, kids.
You're going to be a star. So we would have friends come over and we would do either it would be a newscast or it would be a sketch of some sort or like a human music video. So
if you guys know what those were back in the day.
That's more of a Christian
church thing.
Yeah, human music videos. And that was just our upbringing. I don't know where it came from. I think God just knocked a little bit of too much creativity in our pot.
Basically into your pot.
Yeah.
And then asking me to help assist with all your silly little film shoots.
Yes.
So from there, Hilly was creating, basically we've been creating home videos that sucked really
really
bad.
bad.
From a
And-
very young age.
And then there was this thing called the internet that was born. Yes, we're that old. And before we wanted to, like, we decided, like, this is what we want to do. We were more dancers. We would do a lot of dancing, and we would perform in our dance routines, etc. And on the side, we do these little, like, fun sketches with our friends. But then AOL started having these contests, and it was
Right.
called AOL Red, meaning AOL for teenagers. We're talking the Stone Age here, folks.
Yes,
Like, all our young viewers are going to be like, what's that? What's dial-up?
What's AOL?
You got mail.
Oh, yeah.
Your little AIM instant messenger. And they had contests for teenagers. And I think the first one we entered was a scary movie contest. And ours were, well, we placed. We
placed out of entries. So
Our first entry was a scary clown video. Mm-hmm. I was in this horrible-looking nightgown with ugly curly hair and running around in my
screaming.
parents' bedroom screaming from a horrible-looking porcelain clown. And we placed. I think that one came in
I think it came in
third.
Third.
Uh-huh. And then, of course, next year we decided to enter again.
We had to.
We stuck with the clown theme.
Got the clown thing again because we're like, it worked once, but this is the return of the clown. I think that's even what we called it
Yeah,
or
I
something.
think
It was like so stupid.
I think the first one was called Clown Around, and then the
Yeah.
second one was called like the
return of the clown or
More
something.
clowning around is probably what we went with. And we came again, I think, in second.
Second place.
We never won.
We never won, but we kept placing.
Uh-huh.
And then basically what happened after that, we actually entered other music video. Then we entered,
Oh my
So this is all
God.
coming back now. We're dusting off these like cobwebs in the back of our brains. We entered another video contest actually for Creation Entertainment that puts on conventions. And
Yep.
it was for one for the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
And we did a music video dressed as hobbits to play that funky music. And we actually placed. Did we win?
We won.
We won.
For a music video. See? Premonition. And we placed for that one and we won. And yeah, that's always been our journey is that we've been creating what? You're looking at me.
I remembered another one.
Yeah,
So-
for those listeners, Hannah just gave me the big-eyed look and like pointed her finger at me.
So we did that one.
Uh-huh.
And then AOL again put out another contest for the Lord of the Rings.
That was before Scary Movie, though. You're going...
Oh, so that was the first one.
But that wasn't really about making a film.
That's
That
true.
was just like more so... Hey, to keep our viewers reeled in, that's a story for another time. You don't even want to know the Lord of the Rings chapters of our lives. We're just going to close that book and slide it over.
It's a very large book.
And open that later, but there's some special stories in that. And another contest. Believe you me, there's quite a story. But sticking with the last contest, I think it was their last one.
I think it was the last one they ever put
It
out.
was in 2006. They put out a contest
Here we go.
for who would like to have their own web show. Now, this was in 2006 where YouTube was just being
Barely created, yeah.
barely created. It was a platform. It did exist, but very far and few people were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe had like 3 videos uploaded. So we decided, all right, well, I think I decided more so.
Yeah, you're the one that told
I
me.
decided, hey, I really want to enter this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny, the night before they published that contest, I was laying in my bed and in La La Land, because Hilly just daydreams. That's just all I do is daydream.
You've always been that way.
And I
though.
was daydreaming in my bed at 16 years old, thinking, I wish the internet would allow a platform where people could stream videos and I could have like a show.
like a show.
And I would love to make people come home and make them smile and escape from daily troubles. This was like at 16, I'm thinking this.
And the next day,
The next morning I woke up, I got the notification in my email from AOL Red, would you like your own web show? And I was like, holy crap. Yes. Is this you? Yes. Like, I had so much adrenaline. I knew I wanted to enter, and we created the Hillywood Show. Now, your entry could only be 3 minutes long.
Yes.
And I know that episode 1 of Hillywood exists on YouTube. However, that was not the pilot.
Yes.
That was not the entry.
That was not the entry. So basically what happened was they said, okay, send in your entry. So me and Hilly were the only ones that filmed it. And instead of it being a simple entry, it is, of course, back when
back
it was
then.
called the Hillywood Show, wasn't it?
No.
What was it called?
The pilot was the late night show
With
Jack Sparrow. Murder me. I had buried that long.
Yes.
Oh my
so
goodness.
we did that, and it was a late night
Remember?
show at Jack Sparrow.
We had. Do you remember? I'm sorry. You have to watch the
You
YouTube
have to watch
video.
the YouTube.
We're doing hand signals here, and we're remembering an opening scene because I wanted a marquee to light up and show like the late night show because back then After Effects didn't exist.
I wish we could
So
upload
we
it to
literally
YouTube.
filmed our finger like flashing like a marquee, opening and closing, and we had a piece of paper with the logo written out. That's how cheap we were, guys.
I think we even had Christmas lights like around this paper sign, but like we had to use our finger to make it look like right here, y'all. Here's
And
the
look
late
at us
night
now
show.
with our neon sign behind
Yeah.
us. All right, so the entry was Jack Sparrow is a talk show host.
Late night talk show host.
And he would cut to segments saying, all right, let's go to the weather with Willy Wonka. Let's go to the reading room with Mort Rainey. Let's go to the hair salon with
Edward Scissorhands.
Sweeney Todd. Edward Scissorhands. And we filmed it. And that little video was never seen. Only AOL saw that one. And it was so cheap because we filmed everything in my house. Like Willy Wonka's weather was in front of, I think, my blinds in my room. Like there was no set.
There was no sets.
Like
It was costumes. We did have good costumes. So we filmed that. We entered it. And then basically from there, AOL had to look at, I think it was...
I was so embarrassed.
What?
We had a huge party over the house. It was like, I think my dad's birthday or his mom's
What are you
birthday.
remembering that I'm not?
I remember, believe me. I remember. I was so embarrassed. They said, oh, can you turn on this video of your latest creation? Because we would always show my family, like, what did Hilly create now? So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll show you what I entered for AOL. And Mom and Dad had switched the DVDs. And they put where Tim Hamilton was like, hey, you are a third. No, you are. What did he say? Like, you are a finalist. That's what it is. Excuse me.
Oh.
You are a finalist. And my whole family started cheering, and I turned so red.
That's right.
so
they did it in front of everybody. It was like a whole family gathering, and they like wanted to like surprise you, but like it was like the worst surprise ever. 'Cause she's like, all eyes are on me. Basically,
I turned bright red, and I guess we were an entry out of 100,000 people that we were selected top 5.
So then after what happened with that was we were selected top 5, and they go, okay, so your pilot was great and all, y'all, but we're gonna make it
better.
We're gonna make it better.
We're gonna have a movie crew come out and film you, and we're gonna go through the script and give you a set and all this stuff. I guess they had like a mini budget. I really don't know what that budget was, like $1,000. I don't know. And they came to my house. And it was a producer named Tim Hamilton. Bless his heart, he had to handle me. And we had just one camera op. And his name was, I forgot. Mark? Yes, I think it was Mark. Tim and Mark.
And here's the crazy thing. The first episode only consisted of you. I was not in it
Nope, you
at
weren't
all.
in it. But you were there basically directing me and telling
Hilly.
me, you did good, you're doing good, and you kept giving me thumbs up. But what was weird about the episode that's now on YouTube is the one that AOL produced. That's the one that's on YouTube. The weird thing about that is that it is very different from our entry. It stayed true, but like Willy Wonka's weather was very strange. He added
The whole script was different.
He added dialogue. He had me eating off of the weather map,
like
and
cotton candy clouds.
Yeah.
And the entire intro where it's like multiple Hillies. Who does all your makeup? That was none of our doing. That was basically someone stepping in saying, this is what you're going to do and this is how it's going to be shot. So you know, it is what it is. Like it was definitely a learning experience for us. Like we were like, oh, he's getting different angles. Like we were learning by watching, but for us, it wasn't as funny, I don't think, as our original pilot.
Because the original pilot is a pile of crap, and we all know that.
But that's what made it so
funny. But I think
funny.
that's what makes it so genuine is that it was so shitty. And I'm sorry to say it was really shitty. But yeah, we came in third place. AOL voted. And what was so frustrating about that contest, and we were notified that we were in the lead.
Yes.
But then they said, hey, we really want to try to get more promotion for AOL. And I remember the producer started calling all the finalists.
Basically, what you skipped out on right now, really
I'm
quickly.
sorry.
It's okay. We're dusting off cobweb. Excuse me.
Cobweb in the back of my head.
Cobwebs in the back of my head. This is, guys, 13 years ago. I don't even think, Hilly, we've even talked about this.
I don't even think Hilly was born yet.
No, I just, we're a little kind of like, whoa, where's that coming from? Like all these memories are shooting. Basically, we shot it. It was released to the American public on AOL.
I think that was gathered,
to
though.
The one that they shot.
Okay.
Like all the professional ones, all the top five entries had been shot by like a professional film crew, and they, people that wrote scripts stepped in and helped them out. So then it was released to the public, and you can vote to say, well, that one's my favorite. So we were in the lead, but then what they started to do was say you can vote multiple times, which
per household.
In my book of rules,
Yeah.
preferably it's one vote per person. I don't think you should go in there and continue.
Per computer or per device.
You should just be able to vote once. That's just how I see it. But
the producer wanted to get more votes coming in.
More people involved,
More
basically.
people involved, make it a tighter race. So he called, and I remember he told me, he goes, hey, so you really need to get more friends to be voting, and we want, just really spread out, the word. So we were like, okay, no big problem. Well, we came in third place, but then we later learned that the one who won, they were in high school at the time, and their school allowed them to sit down in the computer room and vote for their school member
for like an hour.
All day long.
Our cameraman's like,
And I remember he was on the phone, and he was like, you guys were in the lead, but I'm sorry, he just... his name was Kevin. Kevin really took off and, basically, and so it became, it was a little frustrating to hear because it was more of a popularity contest. And because I was homeschooled, I did not have that. I remember my dance teachers, because I was in competition dance, they let me go in the back room and use their computers during my break, and I was the only one voting for myself. I could cry. That is so lonely. That is so sad. But we're actually very...
Yay, me, click.
We're actually very happy, though, that we didn't win because I remember I loved the winner. He was very cute. Like, his stuff was cute. It was cute. We were happy he won. If
he
anybody,
had a brand. He found who he was.
If anyone should have won,
I liked him,
I was happy for him. And I connected with him afterwards, and I was like, hey, so what happened? And he goes, well, AOL produced another, I think, 5 episodes. But he said after that, because, I guess it didn't do too good online, he was no longer able to continue it from what I understood because AOL now owned the rights to his show. So he was no longer able to create, I think it was called the Moose Bump Show. God bless his soul. That was such a cute title.
Moose Bump? Yeah. Or Moose Gump?
Moose I think it's Gump.
Moose Gump.
I'm so sorry, Kevin. Moose Gump. I don't think you can even Google it. It's literally gone, I believe.
Yeah. So unfortunately with that, I felt really sorry for him, but we also felt very protected by God as well because we were like, wow, basically his entire name and everything was taken.
You need to sit closer to the mic.
Sorry.
This is Hannah's first podcast, and she's slowly getting further away, and we need her up.
I'm
nice
sorry.
And
Go
close
ahead.
To the mic. All right. So after we lost,
after we failed,
we started getting emails from people who voted for us on AOL. Now, this is before Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, so we weren't getting comments.
We were getting emails that was associated with our entry, so they could email at, basically whatever the email was with the entry.
And the emails were all the same. Please continue the show. We love the show. We love the sketch. We like the Johnny Depp characters. Please continue this. we then proceeded to upload it onto YouTube on this new shiny platform called YouTube. So cool.
And they were
we
like, hey,
started the
this
episodes.
started out, you should start it on YouTube. So we were like, okay, yeah, whatever. And I believe we did upload our first video with AOL, like the actual pilot they shot. Then we decided to go to episode 2. And by that point, you know, it was a lot more, how are we going to develop the show? What is it going to be about? We still stuck with the idea of Jack Sparrow because that was our whole go-to. We loved the idea of Jack.
Wait. Why did we stick with Jack Sparrow? It's because Hilly was obsessed with a capital O with Johnny Depp. He was my man.
Your hero.
In the 2000 era. Like, I loved Johnny Depp.
A lot.
Yeah, after I saw Jack Sparrow, I freaked out.
You had to watch every single movie
with Mr. Johnny Depp. And he's the one who really inspired me to play different characters.
Right.
Because I saw his portfolio, and that really, really made an impact on, makeup and how different a costume can make you, and how he doesn't have to play the same character. He can be a drunk pirate, and he can be a crazy barber. And like, I don't think I was the only one. Is there any viewers or listeners that can relate to the Johnny Depp craze? Because
I think there's a lot who still can.
I mean, I think there's even boys who are in the Johnny Depp craze. Like, we loved Johnny Depp. I think the whole nation loved Johnny Depp. So yeah, that's why we stuck with the Johnny Depp theme, because I couldn't get enough of Mr. Johnny Depp.
So by the time we were finally on YouTube, that's when Hilly had asked me, hey, basically, I know that you'll film for me, because that's where I kind of stepped in, and I would, set up the camera angle, which at the time, you never approved the angles.
No,
you would just sit there and you go, do I look okay? I go, you look great.
It was so sloppy.
I was the one that would set it up and just shoot it. Yeah, that was it. You would never even review the takes.
No.
And by episode 2, that's when I made an appearance. And she said, please, I can't play all the characters. Can you play a character? And I reluctantly said, all right, fine, yeah.
Well, you've always been a part of all of our movies. When I was younger, you were always a presence there. You would always play roles, and you would act, and you would be a news anchor. Like, you were a part of that growing up.
But it was a bigger commitment. Like, when you said, hey, I'm going to do this show, like, okay, guys, we were really trying. We thought we were doing a great job. Like, episodes, we thought we were, really trying with, like, our costumes and, like, our makeup. Like, I had a drawn-on beard for, like, Will Turner. So, and that was, like, professional. Like, make sure you draw it really good to, like, not miss like a spot, or you'll see your skin showing through. Like, we really thought we were trying. So, yeah. That's
kind of how Hillywood began. I know that we had a presence a lot on MySpace, and that's what continued, because, YouTube only had a certain amount of comments, but MySpace had a lot. And that's when we started to connect with, my God, that's how we found, like, Kyle later down the road to play Jacob Black in Twilight.
Yep.
I connected with a lot of, like, Jack Sparrow impersonators. Ronnie, I think Dwight, I think the Arnold Schwarzenegger lookalike.
Yeah, because it was all through MySpace.
It didn't exist outside of that. So that's where our audience really was our old MySpace days, guys, with your custom profiles, and you could put a song.
Oh, I loved that.
To show your favorite song.
Oh, I loved that.
It was cool.
I wish MySpace was still around.
I know. I remember YouTube used to be more customizable. Remember, you could go on people's profiles, and it was all, like, designed and cool.
Yep.
And then MySpace was like that too. But now we're just, like, stuck to this bubble photo, one bubble photo on Facebook and one bubble photo on Twitter. And I hope your banner's cool enough.
Right.
I forgot. It was like you could put GIFs, and you could have custom font. So if you were the emo kid, everything's black. And we have a Green Day song, or,
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, My Chemical Romance. Like, you could really.
One thing about that, though, you really had to understand codes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
HTML.
Yeah, HTML coding.
Oh, my gosh.
You taught me.
Do you remember the first Hillywood poster? Think hard.
Hold on.
I had my own custom website.
Hold on. Wait.
And it was made through Blue Voda or Blue Host or something. Blue Voda Host. What are you envisioning?
Jack Sparrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's he doing? Of course it's Jack Sparrow. Who else would it be? See, she can't remember. Oh. No one's going to know this except me because no one visited our Hillywood site back then.
What? Wait. No, because we did have a graphic with Jack Sparrow and all the characters around the limousine. I remember that.
There was the photo, it was a banner. It said, like, welcome to the Hillywood Show. And it was Jack peeking over some hills. And he was pointing towards the Hollywood sign, but the O was off.
The O was falling to the ground.
And he was, like, replacing it with Hillywood.
With
like
the
with
I.
But it was so sloppy. So horribly sloppy and cringy.
Photoshop.
Oh, my goodness.
Or was that done on, like, paint?
No, I don't. I think I didn't have Photoshop back then. I was on.
See?
I was on. I think Print Shop or something crazy like that. Oh my goodness.
Hey, we didn't have it. You got to start somewhere.
That was the only thing we had, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone had that same fancy custom font.
Here's my question to you: when we did our episodes, we were still shooting. When we first shot, we shot on a tape. Mm-hmm. When we shot episode 2, were we shooting with a Panasonic?
That was a new camera.
That was the Panasonic.
That was the Panasonic DVX 100B, was it?
Something like that.
And the one that we sent into AOL was old, like, was it a DVX or something?
It's like one of those smaller,
tiny tapes.
8mm tapes.
And then we would have to send in a tape, a VHS tape, or a DVD. Oh my God.
And figuring things out with DVDs back then were a nightmare.
Thank God for the digital age where we can just be like, here's the file, here's the audition tape, zoop, gone. Other than that, it got lost in the mail? Oh, no.
And how did we see? I'm sorry, guys. I'm like sitting back going,
she's more into this conversation than our listeners.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember. How did we edit episode 2?
I edited on...
Was it iMovie?
Mm-mm. Was it? No, I don't think I had a Mac then. I think I was still on Windows. Nothing against PC, but when you're doing a video
with graphics,
Mr. Mac, I believe, is the ultimate.
I don't even remember how you edited those back then because I was on tape.
I just remember when we did the Play That Funky Music White Boy, I had a fever and I was editing it on Mom's computer.
That's right.
And I was using
iMovie.
Windows Maker. Was it called Shun? Was it?
Yes!
Windows Movie Maker. Thank you, Shun, our in-studio camera guy. Windows Movie Maker.
Yep.
And then I think I slowly started graduating to iMovie, but I don't know when. And then we went to Final Cut Pro, and then we went to Adobe Premiere Pro, which I'm at now.
Mm-hmm. Thank God.
And we could have an episode where we talk about all about editing.
Yeah.
And how much we hate it. No, I'm just joking. No, we love editing. We love it when it works.
Yeah. Jeez, we've gone through enough with that. Good Lord. But what other questions do fans ask us about? I think we kind of touched on that. Why do you do what you do?
Yeah, the whole purpose of Hillywood. A lot of people don't know why did you do it? What was it? Well, number one, I'm super creative. Mm-hmm. My mind never stops. I'm constantly imagining things. I'm constantly making up concepts and always wanting to be a character in a role or in performance or lip sync. That's just me, okay? I don't. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I got it now. I caught it. I got the tail end of it. The whole purpose.
See, she's in dreamland.
The whole hey, hey now, hey now, hey now,
hey now.
No, this is what dreams are made of.
Oh no, I was gonna go.
Hey now, you're the rock star. Get the show on.
Yep, baby. Only shooting stars. All right. Anyway, so
I only know that song because of Inspector
Gadget.
Gadget.
And I see the girl in the car.
Okay. So
wow, reel it back in. All right,
back in.
So you're a creative individual,
but why I wanted to be in Hillywood was honestly to make people smile, to make people laugh, and
you've always been into filmmaking.
Yeah, like how I said earlier, it was an escape for teenagers, adults to come home and just unplug from reality and enjoy parodies. And it's always like, in a sense, God's fingerprint, because we still hear those stories today. Literally, word for word, someone comes up to our booth when we do our meet and greets, and they'll tell stories like, I was really depressed. I haven't smiled in like years because of this and this, of what's going on with my life. And because of the Hillywood Show, I've learned to laugh again. I haven't committed suicide. Like, guys, it's intense.
It's like intense stories, and we're like, that has never been our goal, is like, hey, let me like help someone with depression. It was just basically for fun, to smile. Yeah. And that's where we kind of have seen like a bigger picture, and you're just sitting there and they're sharing this very touching, deep story that's like totally private that they would never tell anyone. And
it just seems like that's where God has had us all these years. And,
it's pretty bizarre.
It's hard sometimes because we step back from Hillywood. And you guys, Hillywood's not easy. I think a lot of listeners or viewers might think that we have a huge team behind us.
Shun, do we have a massive team?
No.
As he says so sadly.
No. As he's here doing our podcast. We don't have that. We don't have a sponsor. We don't have anyone funding us. We still have to work part-time jobs to sustain our own lives.
Our own life.
Our own bills, our own life. And every time we feel like this is getting too heavy and we want to maybe pull out or considering pulling out, we'll hear a story like that. And it just, again, it's like
okay.
It puts you in reset mode almost, to where, yes, the Hillywood Show, in a sense, you want it about you. You want it to succeed. You want it to go places and hit bigger, platforms.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you're the ones that are creating it and you're the one thinking it, and I'm doing all the heavy lifting to make it started.
But when you hear a story, like, I didn't kill myself,
then
I was in the hospital and this made me smile, that's when you remember, oh, there is a bigger picture to all of this. Our whole purpose in life is to be a light unto those who need it. We're Christians, and that's what we believe in, our faith. And we just believe in God's stories. Like, if this is the position God has us in to maybe reach people and just make them smile, in a sense, so be it, even though sometimes that's really hard for us to say, oh, well, will Hillywood ever go anywhere? Will Hillywood, finally make it to that next level? That's always like God's little whisper or a tap on our shoulder to ground us again and say, remember why you are in this position and remember what your reason would be.
Or even if you don't understand the reason, there could have been, you needed to go through all that and make that. And we sell a couple things and we keep trying, and it funds maybe a little bit of the next production, but it's more of that person needed you in that time, and that was the only way that I knew it could reach them. So you just kind of say, okay.
It's a wild, wild ride. When I made that silly little tape, I would have never thought in a million quadrillion years that I'd still be doing this.
No.
13 years later. I cannot fathom.
It's pretty bizarre. 13 years later, and we're still growing, and you guys are still watching and still sharing. And even though it's gotten to a point now where the productions have become so big, it's really, really hard to keep up with it financially, that you guys will stick around for a whole year for one production because you believe in us that much, which is insane to us. So, hey,
it's
thanks,
unheard
guys.
of.
Yeah, it definitely is unheard of. We are not the
typical YouTuber.
Yeah, the YouTube standards. Make a video every week. We're like, how about once a year?
Well, and that's the thing. I think people don't understand. They're like, well, why can't you make more videos? Don't you have enough money to do it? And you're like, well, no, because the monetization coming in isn't even a fourth of what that video cost. And YouTube takes 40%, is it now? 40%.
Yeah, 40%.
They take 40% of the income from our monetization. So, for example, like our Doctor Who parody, and this is back then. We don't really disclose what things cost now because I think you guys would fall over. Just being honest. Doctor Who parody back then in 2014 was $10,000 we raised with fan donations. But then we saved up from our own little personal jobs. And I think we put an extra $2 in there. Yeah, right?
I thought Doctor Who was 17. Uh-huh.
Did it get that
Yeah,
high
I
in the
think
end?
we asked for 15, and I think, Hilly, our fans gave us an extra 2 because I remember we were like ecstatic. We were like crying.
Oh my
And
God.
because for Doctor Who, we actually took phone calls for people calling in saying, I want to give $10.
yeah, that was so
And they would have to
cool.
do it like through some
It
system.
was GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. But like if you donated, they could call and we would actually tell them thank you. I think we were on the phone for 6 hours
Yeah.
raising funds.
Yeah.
And we did it
And somebody
in like
did
6 hours.
give extra towards the end. I don't remember who they were. It
and
was an
believe
anonymous
me,
donation.
Every penny gone. Like we spent it all because there's things that always go wrong.
So the cost of our productions are way higher now, just because, better equipment. When we have people work for us, we have to like thank them. We can't just be like, hey, do this for free, and we're just gonna keep using you every year and never paying you. Like we have to make the people that we work with feel appreciated. That's part of it. That's a good team. That's
and
when
even
you
the
build a
people
good
that we
crew.
work
Yeah.
with now, like even Shun, when we work with these people, sometimes we continue to have them return. They will do it at discounted rates
Yeah.
still to this day because we just literally cannot do it at the rate they would be at unless we had the funds needed.
So it's wild to me that we still have such a strong fan base when we physically can't put out more than one production a year. The fact that you guys wait around so long for one production is mind-blowing. For a YouTube show, I'm just like, we're not Sherlock. We're not Supernatural. We're a
No.
YouTube show with only, I say only, but we don't see it as only, but we've done like around 24 parodies, I think, 24 parodies. And every year you guys just sit there and cheer us on from the sidelines. And special shout out, like right now, even as we're doing this podcast, some of this equipment that you either see in studio if you're watching our YouTube video, or you hear us talking through little microphones, hello. These were donated by fans on our Patreon. We put out an Amazon wish list with a grain of salt. And we're like, hey, we're thinking about doing a podcast. If you guys would like to help, this is kind of what we're needing. And like within a couple days, everybody bought something. And I about flatlined on the floor.
I was not expecting that. I was like, we probably have like one thing bought. Like the thing that's like $10. It's like, I'll give that. And you're like, thanks. We kind of need help. Because in order to start this podcast, obviously, money has to go into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's always a risk.
We want to say thank you
Yes.
to those that did step in on our Patreon that are all, this is what's so crazy, is they're already a patron, giving whatever they'd like a month, whether it's $2 to whatever.
Yeah.
And they're still stepped in and gave us and gifted us certain things that we needed.
That was amazing.
Which was amazing. So thank you guys. Because of you, we have been able to begin the podcast.
Yay!
So we're really excited.
I hope this first episode wasn't a complete failure. We're not used to this. We're Mr. and Mrs. Whatever. Mr. and Mrs. Professional is what I call us, where we can't do anything without it being perfecto. So I apologize if this podcast is a little over the place or if like something looks off. We're going to learn as we go, obviously. But most of you guys are probably like, it's fine, it's perfect. But I
just like to listen.
I'm just hard on myself, guys. That's just my personality. I'm a perfectionist. So next episode, we will be diving into all the episodes of Hillywood.
That's going to be
super fun to talk about because we haven't opened that vault in a long time. And as it goes, like I said, we're going to get a little off topic, talk about things in our personal life, favorite fandoms, fun conversations, and then go into Supernatural parody and, Lord of the Rings parody and all that fun enchilada goodness that we can't wait to get into. And starting in the next episode, you will be able to call in and ask us questions during the last 15 minutes of our podcast episodes. So be sure you're following us on our YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Find us everywhere, you guys. We're everywhere. Because we will be posting details on how you are able to call in for the next episode.
Yeah, so be looking for that because we'll be posting about it very soon. And hopefully, the day and time will work out for you and you can call in, and we'll give more information on exactly all the details on how you call in and all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. But quick little shout out. We do want to say thank you to www.hilly DBTV
Yay!
for allowing us to come in and use the studio to shoot our podcast and record. Absolutely amazing. John is back there right now recording all of this.
Yes.
We love him very much, and we actually met him about 5 years ago, John?
3 years, 4 years, 3, 2, 1. He's giving me a bunch of
He's given
hand
a
symbols.
bunch of.
I think we met
fingers.
him during Supernatural Parody because that's when a whole bunch of fans called in.
That's
and
right.
he was
Overwhelmed.
he was, yeah, it was a little bopping weasel in the back of the booth.
He was freaking out. And he's like, "You guys need to speed up. We got way too many calls coming in here. My phone's gonna like jam or something." So, just wanted to say special thanks to him, and he's supporting us and allowing us to come in and shoot
for
this.
our listeners, if you would like, you can watch this episode. It's actually a feature where you can actually see us talking and flapping our little arms around and doing hand signals because we're known for that. We speak a lot of silent language over here.
I know,
between two sisters. It's been rather challenging to keep talking and not just
Exactly.
giving
Well,
each other-
if you do watch the video, I mean, the whole time I'm like trying to think to myself,
flailing.
stop using your hands because
Yeah.
that's what I use when I talk. I constantly am using my hands.
And for our YouTube viewers, you can also listen to this stream. The links will be below, so you can take us on the road, listen to us in the car.
Or while
yeah.
you work out.
Oh, wow.
While you work out, while you cook, while you study.
We should do just like a workout podcast where it's nothing but compliments. You're doing great. Keep it up.
Whoa, wow, look at you go.
Awesome. You are so sexy.
Looking awesome.
Nice thighs. We'll do that next time.
All right, yeah, that'll be our encouragement to you guys. Okay, guys, well, we will see you on our next episode of Beyond Hillywood.
Woo, we did it. So excited.
Coming very soon. So see you guys next time. Bye.
Was that horrible? Did we suck?
No, that was great.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this the end of Hillywood? Will Hilly and Hannah survive? Tune in next time to hear another episode of...
You're doing it again.
Oh, sorry. Beyond Hillywood is listener supported. Join patreon.com/Hillywood to contribute to help Hillywood live on.